Hi, welcome to my persuasive speech. I'll be talking about the COVID-19 vaccine. So right now, as of May 8th, 2021, 3.27 million people worldwide have died from COVID-19 and 62,000 of them in California, with 45 new deaths as of today. So for this vaccine, we finally have the opportunity to stop once for all and flatten the curve. It's a scary time, but it's a very extraordinary time for science, and I would love to help you get to the decision to get vaccinated. So let's start this discussion from the beginning. It's important to know the history of vaccines. So the idea of it was first started in 17th century China with Buddhist monks. They would drink snake venom to be immune to snake bites. They would expose the body to cowpox to be immune to cowpox, and so on and so forth. And later on spread to the West, and we find Edward Jenner here, the founder of vaccinology in the West and the inventor of the smallpox vaccine in 1798, and it's used to this day. We probably had them as a baby. I had them. And then you lead over to Louis Pasteur. He invented the cholera vaccine, and his experiments led to the plague vaccine in the late 19th century. So thanks to him, we're not all dying and living in a mess. Then we have Alexander Glennie. He perfected a method to inactivate the tetanus toxin in our body. Later on led to the polio vaccine. Now polio is massively eradicated. This is a map from the World Health Organization of when polio was taken over. And now we have it calmed down, not killing people. So this is proven before that vaccines do work and they are necessary. So to understand the COVID-19 vaccine, it helps to look first at how our bodies naturally fight illnesses. So viruses invade, attack, multiply, creates an infection, creates an illness, and our immune system uses several tools to fight this infection. All this information is from the cdc.gov in March 2021. The first way could be blood cells carrying oxygen to the tissues, different kind of blood cells that fight illnesses, macrophages, B lymphocytes, T lymphocytes. There's many different ways. But when it comes to COVID, most of the time our body cannot fight it, which leads to death. So we need that boost. So there are 3 types of the COVID vaccine that we should know about. mRNA. It does contain material from the virus, and it gives cells instructions to create a protein that fights the virus, which is probably a Pfizer or Moderna shot. A protein Sunabit vaccine includes harmless pieces of the protein that causes COVID-19, which is another Pfizer Moderna. And a vector vaccine is a protein from a similar illness as COVID-19 to almost create a dual instruction manual. So with this said, this brings a lot of falsifications, fake news about it, and somehow people are believing this is a brand new thing when really, if you're a baby, again, you get the smallpox vaccine, which contains a small piece of protein from it, and now we're good for the rest of our lives. So these anti-vaccine movement people, I don't know where they get the information, but false information leads to spreading false information. They believe that it causes death, horrible long-term side effects, when really that's not true. They would not let us have access to something as Americans that could possibly harm us. So this is from Dr. Derek Lowe from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. He warned the public of the naysayers by saying, if you take 10 million people and just wave your hand back and forth over their arms, in the next 2 months, you would expect to see about 4,000 heart attacks, 4,000 strokes, and 9,000 new diagnoses of cancer, and 14,000 of those 10 million people will die. No one would notice that how many people could die and get sick anyways, but if you look at those 10 million people and gave them a new vaccine instead, people would believe, that's the reason why people die. Basically calling them out on their lies. The solution to this would to be smart, have access to real facts, speak to your medical professional if you are hesitant, that you have a right to be hesitant, but that's what doctors are for. Again, where I find a lot of my information, credible non-biased information. This is not a political fight. This is not a left or right, liberal, conservative fight. This is for your health. I find a lot of it cdc.gov, covid19.california, the World Health Organization, and most importantly, if you're really worried about side effects, your medical provider will be able to answer those questions. I am not a doctor. I suggest talk to a medical provider, not just decide not to get it without speaking to a doctor. So if you're thinking, with all the fight of the vaccine, is it really working? Like, they're pushing it so hard on us, does it even work? This is a map from the CDC statistics, ending in May 2021, starting in January 2021. You can see a big surge from after the holidays and maybe spring break time, everyone's going out. And then you see a major drop come January, which is when the vaccines were getting more available to people. You can explain the surges, from holidays. And so, again, 62,000 deaths to date. We have the responsibility to change and stop these deaths. So would you take a small prick in the arm to save someone's life? I would. So again, why should I? Could you save just one person? Could you save a family member, a neighbor, a mother, a brother? I think I would. You could be that superhero. And again, with vaccine, the more people that get vaccinated, we need herd immunity. 80% of people need to vaccinate in the US for any chance of normal life. And so far, that is not happening. And so when you do get vaccinated, you would have access to a digital passport, possible concerts. You could have access to travel. I haven't seen my boyfriend in over a year, maybe a year and 6 months, because he is stuck across seas and cannot travel until he is vaccinated. And he is excited and ready to do that. Getting vaccinated could mean a future with no masks. You can check updates on the cdc.gov/coronavirus. So far, at least in California, as of May 8th, you cannot have a mask outside in low people areas. So that's really exciting. When you're not vaccinated, you do not have that opportunity. Again, where can I even get it? It's as simple as a Google search. You can go to your local pharmacy and see what they have to offer. I'm fully vaccinated, myturn.ca, or talk to your medical provider. Again, I did it. It's free. It takes 20 minutes of your time. Your employer legally has to pay you for that time. So again, to reiterate, as a new generation, what world will you leave your children or grandchildren? Vaccines have been used for centuries. We were prepped for this. Educate yourself, credible information, get the stats, stay up to date, get vaccinated, stay healthy, talk to your doctor, get out there, and we're going to save some lives. And again, references that I've used a lot. Google COVID tracker. It's that easy to Google. So let's get out there and save some lives. Thank you.